I want to start with a question that most people in business never seriously ask themselves. If you stopped tomorrow, not retired, not sold, just stopped, what would happen to the income you have built? How much of it would still be there in 6 months? How much of it would still be there in 5 years? And how much of it would disappear almost immediately because it was never really income you built? It was income you were personally generating every single day. Most people who think they have built income systems have actually built sophisticated jobs. The sophistication makes it feel like a system. The dependency on their ongoing presence reveals what it actually is. I am not saying that to be harsh. I spent years building exactly that, something that looked like a system from the outside and functioned like a job from the inside. And the moment I started asking what would survive without me, the picture became very clear very quickly. Most income is extractive. You put time and energy in and money comes out. Stop putting time and energy in and the money stops. That is not an income system. That is a conversion mechanism. It converts your labor into currency at a fixed rate and stops the moment you stop feeding it. Income that outlives you works differently. It is generative. It produces output from a structure rather than from your ongoing input. The distinction sounds subtle. The difference in your life is enormous. Building generative income requires a completely different design orientation from the start. You are not asking, how do I maximize what I can extract from this? You are asking, how do I build something that keeps generating value after I have moved on from actively managing it? Those questions lead to completely different decisions about structure, about documentation, about the relationships you build and the systems you put in place. There is a concept called institutional memory. It is the accumulated knowledge, systems, and culture that an organization carries independent of any individual within it. When a key person leaves an organization with strong institutional memory, the organization keeps functioning because the intelligence is embedded in the structure, not stored in a person. Most founders never build institutional memory into their income systems. Everything lives in their head. When they step back, the system loses its intelligence. That is not a people problem. That is a documentation and design problem. Building institutional memory into your income systems means transferring the intelligence of how the system works out of your head and into something that persists without you. Documented processes that capture not just what to do, but why. Client relationships that are held by the system, and not just by you personally. Quality standards that are clear enough for someone else to apply without needing to ask you what you meant. The more of the system's intelligence that lives outside of you, the more of it survives when you are not there. This is where most founders stall. Documentation feels like administrative work. It feels like the unglamorous back end of building something. And compared to the front end work of acquiring clients and generating revenue, it is easy to deprioritize. But the founders who build income that genuinely outlasts their active involvement are almost always the ones who treated documentation as a strategic asset rather than a core. They understood that every process they captured was a transfer of value from themselves into the system, an investment in the system's ability to operate independently. The second thing that building lasting income requires is what I think of as relationship infrastructure. Most business relationships are held personally. The client trusts you. The partner respects you. The referral source likes you. Those relationships have real value, but they are not transferable in their current form. If you disappeared tomorrow, most of them would dissolve because they were built on your personal presence, not on the structure of the business itself. Relationship infrastructure means building the business's relationships alongside your own, making sure clients have touch points with the system and not just with you, making sure the quality they experience is associated with the brand and the process, and not just with your personal involvement. Over time, this shifts the trust from you as a person to you as a builder of something they can rely on. That trust is transferable. It can outlast your active involvement. It can survive transition. I noticed this shift happening in my own business at a certain point. Clients who had come in because of me started staying because of the system. They stopped referencing me personally when they described what they valued. They started referencing the process, the consistency, the way problems got handled. That transition was quiet. I almost missed it. But it was the clearest sign that what I had built had started to develop a life beyond my own involvement in it. That is the moment you are building toward. The highest form of income architecture is when the system you built generates value for people who never met you. Not because you are gone, but because the structure is strong enough and the value clear enough that it operates independently of your ongoing presence. Most founders build for their own lifetime of involvement. The ones who build generational wealth build for a time horizon that extends beyond their own participation. That shift in horizon changes every design decision you make. I want to be clear about what this is not. It is not about building something impersonal. The best income systems I have seen are deeply human in how they deliver value. They just do not require the founder to be present in every delivery. The humanity is baked into the design, into the standards, into the way the system was built to treat the people it serves. That is the difference between a system that outlasts its founder and a system that collapses when the founder leaves. Building income that outlives you is the ultimate expression of everything this series has been building toward. Not just income that works. Income that works beyond you. Beyond your active years. Beyond your ongoing attention. Something that keeps generating value because of what you built, not because of how hard you keep working. That is the goal. That is what all of this has been pointing toward. If you have been here from the beginning, this is the episode where everything connects. If today is your first video, go back to episode 1. The full picture is there. Subscribe, because tomorrow is the final episode of this series, and it is the one that ties everything together. I will see you then.